Dude, ladies and gentlemen, Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey is live and on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, where it is a doubleheader day for Pioneer men's varsity hockey. We're going to do our best. I have no actual idea. There's not going to be a lot of time between the games, so we're going to have to break down our equipment and boogie over quickly. But what it is at 5 o'clock, they're resurfacing ice right now. We have Pioneer men's varsity hockey playing the home team, Father Gabriel Richard. And we'll get a little bit more information about them coming up. And then we go right from here and boogie over to the Arctic Coliseum, where hopefully our connectivity will play a little nicer for us than it did versus the Skyline game. And we're going to try and break down and set up over there for an 8 p.m. game versus Lenawee. So lots and lots of things going on. Also check out at 7 o'clock, my father will be doing a video in the scoreboard for the Pioneer women's varsity hockey team. They are playing Skyline Huron. I don't know if they still call themselves Skyron or not, but we will. That will be on, no play-by-play, but that will be going on from Vets at 7 o'clock. So we're going to try and cover as much as we possibly can here. We'll play just a couple messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back. You're listening to Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform? Why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
So the last game was yesterday, Pioneer playing Ann Arbor Huron. The final score was 9-2. It's not up on the Michigan High School Hockey Hub yet, so I don't have the scoring sheet for that game. I'd love to go over that, but it's a crazy time for everyone, and it just hasn't gotten up onto the site yet. But Pioneer has at this point 4 wins, 2 losses and a tie. So they beat Dexter, they beat Huron twice, they beat Saline in overtime, a 1-goal game, and then they lost to Jackson, they lost to Skyline, and then they tied Chelsea. Taking a look at that Chelsea game, since we didn't get to go over it, and by the way, huge thank you to Jeff Cass, who did an amazing job. We will absolutely invite him back, and we are so very grateful. I try and cover as much as I possibly can, and to have both James and Oliver, our wonderful students, helping out with some play-by-play, Jeff Cass doing a fantastic job. We are really blessed and really lucky to have some amazing people who are willing to work with us. So I cannot say thank you to Jeff enough, and we look forward to having him back on these airwaves as soon as we can. Taking a look at that Chelsea game, both teams scored in the first. It was 1-1 at the end of one. Pioneer scored in the second, so it was 2-1 at the end of 2 in the Chelsea game. And then Chelsea scored towards the end of the third, and nobody scored in the overtime, leaving it 1-1. It was a Pioneer goal, Adam Caribbean, even strength goal from Andrew Yang. That was at 16:31 in the first. Chelsea came back at 12:17. That was Delvia even strength goal unassisted. Then at 5:53 in the second, it was Sean Fitzgerald, even strength. Andrew Yang getting his second assist for the day on that one. That made it Pioneer 2 and Chelsea 1. Then with 51 seconds left in the game, Valak scored even strength unassisted goal, making it 2-2, and that's where it stood. So your goal scorers for Pioneer, Fitzgerald and Caribbean, Yang with both assists, and then no assists on either of the Chelsea goals. Davalia with a goal and Valak with a goal. Between the pipes, it was Elliot Davis playing for Pioneer, facing 40 shots on goal, saving 38 of them versus Chelsea, and Bayer for the Chelsea goal tender played 51 minutes between the pipes, faced 39 shots on goal, saved 37 of them. Taking a look at Pioneer, who are your top points leaders at this point? Again, not having the Huron game added, so obviously there's 9 more goals and several more assists added to this total. But at the moment, Jack Chikachi has 13 points. He's the top points leader. He has 7 goals and 6 assists. Your top 5 points leaders, Ethan Cotree has 11 points, that on 3 goals and 8 assists. Sean Fitzgerald has 7 points, that on 3 goals and 4 assists. Eli Jekyll has 7 points, that on 2 goals and 5 assists. And then tied for 5th place is Juno Whitelock, has 5 points on 4 goals and 1 assist. And Adam Caribbean has 5 points on 4 goals and 1 assist. It has been predominantly only a Davis between the pipes, 5 games played, 2-1-1. He's faced 113 shots on goal, saved 102 of them, 11 goals against for a 2.55 goals against average and a fantastic 903 save percentage. Luke Boyd has played 59 minutes between the pipes, 3 games played, 1 win, 1 loss. 12 shots on goal. That's obviously not completely correct there, but saved 10 of them, 2 goals against for a 1.73 goals against average and an 833 save percentage. And then Julius Cass has played 8 minutes between the pipes and has faced 4 shots on goal, saved all 4 of them. Flipping over and taking a look at our opponent, the Irish father, Gabriel Richard Green Hills, they are on a winning streak. They lost their first game. That was to Milford. That was a 5-6 contest here in overtime. But then they have won 7 games in a row versus some very quality opponents. They beat Riverview, and that's not easy, especially over at Kennedy, and they beat them 6-2. Then they beat Notre Dame Prep 11-3. They beat Cabini. That was 8-0 win here. Then they played at Dexter. They won that one 5-4. They beat University Liggett over at McCann Arena. That was a 4-3 win. Then they beat St. Clair Shores Unify. That was 7-2. And then lastly, they played Woodhaven. Looks like that was here. Woodhaven has had a fairly solid season as the Irish come out of their locker room to the right and hit the ice in their home white jerseys. They beat Woodhaven 4-3. Taking a look at that last Woodhaven game, let's get a little bit more information about that. So last game for Father Gabriel Richard, they scored twice in the first. So at the end of the first period, it was 2-0. The Irish with the lead. Woodhaven scored a goal in the second, so it was 2-1 at the second intermission. Both teams scored 2 in the third, and it ended up being 4-3. Taking a look at the goal scorers for, let's start off with Woodhaven. It was Andrews scoring 2 goals, Mink scoring a goal. That's their 3 goals. Assists were to Weimer had an assist. Mink had an assist. McQuestion had an assist, as well as Burry. For 3 goals and 4 assists. Goal scorers for the Irish. Gove had 2 goals. Hazard had a goal. Waldo had a goal for that, your 4 goal scorers. And then the assists were 1 for Gove, so he had a 3-point night. Hazard had an assist for a 2-point night. And so 4 goals and 2 assists on that. Monty played between the pipes for the Irish, faced 22 shots on goal, saved 19 of them. And it was Butch over for Woodhaven. He played 51 minutes between the pipes, faced 29 shots on goal, saved 25 of them. If we flip over and take a look at the top 5 points leaders for the Irish, it is going to start off with some heavy totals here. Waldo has 31 points, that on 12 goals and 19 assists. Number 2 is Quentin Gove. He has 25 points on 12 goals and 13 assists, so both tied for the goal lead. Hazard has 4 goals and 20 assists for 24 points. Lipinski has 20 points on 11 goals and 9 assists. And then checking in at number 5 is Bo Brewer. He has 15 points on 10 goals and 5 assists. So those are your top points leaders, the folks you have to pay attention the most with the Irish. Obviously, they have a number of folks chipping in all over the team. But Waldo, Gove, Hazard, Lipinski, and Brewer, that's number 11, 6, 8, 18, and 13 on your score sheet. It has been predominantly Monty between the pipes, but they have 4 goalies and doing a fantastic job. So 4 games played for Monty, 140 minutes between the pipes, 2 wins, no losses, 71 shots on goal, 61 saves, 10 goals against, 3.64 goals against average, and an 8.59 save percentage. Next is Binovich. He has played 108 minutes between the pipes, 2 wins, 1 loss, 52 shots on goal, saved 45 of them, 7 goals against, so 3.31 goals against average, and an 8.65 save percentage. Burke has played 69 minutes between the pipes in 3 games, 1 win, no losses, 20 shots on goal, saved 17 of them, 3 goals against for a 2.22 goals against average, and 8.50 save percentage. And lastly, Janowski has played 75 minutes between the pipes, and he has played 3 games, 2 wins, no losses, 23 shots on goal, saved 20 of them, 3 goals against, 2.04 goals against average, and an 8.70 save percentage. Trying to see who's out there right now, and it looks like Monty, although I just did see Burke in between the pipes for a moment as well, so we will see exactly who starts the game for those 2, or between the 4 of them, really, because it could be any of those players. So as the team's getting warmed up here, as very different jerseys. Pioneer, this is the first time I've seen these jerseys. It's an all-black jersey with the Pioneer logo on the front and numbers in black on the back, black helmets and black pants. So nifty-looking jersey. Couple stripes along the sleeves, but this is the first time I've seen those. They may have worn them in one of the games where I was covering something else. But definitely a different look for Pioneer here as the away team. And looks great. They have the block A's on the helmet. And again, you have that circle wagon logo on the front. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA. We will be back with, if they do the starting lineups, as people are in attendance here since it's a Father Gabriel Richard home game. So we'll probably have the starting lineups and the national anthem, but you never know. Sometimes they hop right back into the game. So this past year and a half has taught us, if nothing else, how to roll with things, and definitely just to see what happens. So now Burke has hopped over there. So it looks like both Burke and Monty kind of splitting some time in the warm-ups. We'll see who's on the starting lineup. You're listening to Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, Why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As the public address announcer now, welcome everyone. Again, this is the first game of a double header, so we will do our best to get over to the 8 o'clock game versus Lenawee as quickly as possible. We do have this set up, so if we miss a little bit, please forgive us, but hopefully we can get over there and get set up and get ready to go. But we are set up and ready to go here, and that's what's important. Obviously, 2 attendees per athlete at both of those games, since they're both away games. So it is absolutely wonderful and fantastic to see all the parents that we don't often get to see, so we appreciate that. Also, this is being streamed as well by Father Gabriel Richard, and so we have Ben over to our left. He's done a fantastic job for them, as well as Northville Hockey. He calls both teams, and they have video going on Facebook Live. So we're gonna skip right past the starting lineups, and we're underway as the puck comes into the Irish zone. Grabbing a Chikachi with a shot off the side of the net. That picked up, coming the other direction. Here comes Father Gabriel Richard as the puck outside the near circle, trying to pull it. Waldo is in there. Hazard Gove trying to chip that ahead. Here comes Waldo over center ice, puts it into the Pioneer zone. That collected, banked ahead. And now Gove has it in along the near boards of the neutral zone. That deflected right back to the Pioneer blue line. Hazard fires it deep. That spins into the far corner, lifted out into the neutral zone. Here comes Pioneer. Cross-ice pass over to McDaniel. McDaniel has that knocked down. Trying to fire that ahead as that was Patty with it. Collected by Gove as he comes down the far boards, chips it ahead, trying to get around Whitelock into the far corner. Roderick trying to get that knocked down, and a good save. I didn't catch who the goaltender was, so I'll have to do my best to keep an eye out for Pioneer as that puck slips back into the Irish zone. That will be icing as Brewer heads back. As they'll come all the way back into the Pioneer zone. 0-0 is our score. 15:59 left to go here in the first. Face-off is going to be to the right of the Pioneer goaltender. I believe that is Davis in there, but as soon as he turns his back to me, I'll double-check that. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Caribbean in to take the face-off. On the other side is Patty. The puck goes back behind the Pioneer goal. Andy trying to send it out into the neutral zone. Knocked down by Whitelock. Whitelock coming down the far boards, trying to squeeze it out of the zone. Held in. Now Caribbean gets it out into the neutral zone. Whitelock sends it on edge. That's corralled right at the neutral zone. Brought in along the near boards. Banked ahead for the Irish. Collected by Roderick in his own zone. He banks it all the way along the far boards. Hazard has that. Tipped away by Whitelock. 2 number 8s battling there. That pulled away. Here comes Pioneer as Kresge coming down the far boards. He tips it as it goes all the way back into the Irish zone. Gove collects it back behind his own goal. Sends it in along the near boards, trying to get that ahead to boot the puck into the neutral zone. Gove picks it up right at center ice. Gets into the zone. Churchill trying to watch him. Same with Roderick. That sticked away. Good stick save. As here comes Pioneer coming down the far side. Caribbean fires it in deep into the Irish zone before he goes for a line change. That lifted all the way around the far boards. Waldo trying to chase that. That picked up by Monsma, now gathered in by the Irish, as here comes Hazard with it over his own blue line. Hazard comes into the Pioneer zone outside the near circle. Centering attempt. That deflected. Hazard has it back. Again, trying to get it out into the slot. And a save by Pioneer. Hopefully he'll turn his back to us. As taking a look, and that is Davis in goal. So Davis made an excellent save. Face-off, Monsma in the far face-off circle. Ward versus Waldo. That comes in along the far boards. Hazard trying to get back to the far point. That slips into the neutral zone. Sent back. Here comes Hazard. Hazard feeds it over along the near side to Lipinski. That through the slot, knocked away. Here comes Monsma down the far boards. Monsma over his own blue line. Monsma chips it ahead. That puck goes spinning right back behind the Irish goal. Monsma into the far corner. That stolen away. Here comes the Irish as they feed it from the far side to the near side. Gove over his own blue line, trying to set up Lipinski outside the far circle of the Pioneer zone. His shot tipped away by the defense. Martin trying to grab it. Chikachi got his stick on it. That out in front, and a save by Davis. Another save. That puck lifts, and now the whistle's blown as the net came off of its moorings. 13:56 left to go here in this. The first period, 0-0 is our score, live from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube between these two rivals. They share a building and play several times a year. I really missed playing them at the Dan Agilic tournament as that puck in along the far boards. Coach trying to grab it. That lifted into the near corner of the Pioneer zone, trying to get it ahead to Fitzgerald outside the near circle. Inside trying to pull that away. Kowalczyk back there as well. Now picked up by Kotri back behind his own goal. Kotri fires it ahead to Chikachi. Chikachi over center ice trying to feed Fitzgerald. That puck wouldn't settle down. Offside's called. As Pioneer trying to get back on sides, but whistle. And they'll redrop the puck in the near face-off circle outside the Irish zone. 13:31 left to go here in the first in a scoreless game. Kotri in to take the face-off. Hazard on the other side. Chikachi to Kotri's left, Fitzgerald to his right. Chikachi has it, top of the near circle. Shot! That was a pad save by Monty. The puck into the far circle. Trying to get it out in front, bounces through the crease. Trying to get to it, Chikachi into the near corner. That puck rolls right back behind the Irish goal. Sending it for a ride. Loose into the far corner. Kotri trying to peel that away as that's corralled, and here come the Irish. Over the blue line, Waldo has it. He fires it, banks it off the near boards as it goes into the near corner for Pioneer. Roderick sends it ahead. That banked off of the far boards of the neutral zone, slips back. Monty's going to have to make a save, so no icing. Gove picks it up back behind his own goal. Gove sits back, calling out traffic. Fitzgerald trying to make it difficult for them. That lifted ahead to Hazard. Hazard coming down the far boards into the Pioneer zone. Hazard high slot now comes over top of the near circle. That covered up. Good job by Davis to save that one. 12:35 left to go here in this, the first period. No score yet. Face-off is to Davis's right in the near face-off circle. We appreciate you joining us for the first of a double-header game. Bouncing puck, Pioneer controls, bring it over their blue line, coming down the near boards as Fitzgerald dumps it, Kresge dumps it in. The puck into the near corner, now lifted back. Churchill trying to hold it in. He takes a shot, that goes off of an Irish skate, comes in along the near boards. Lifted to the blue line, Churchill again trying to keep it in. That puck loose, and here comes the Irish coming down the far side. Ryan Kosicki dumps it deep into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Battle for it back in along the end boards of the Pioneer zone as Martin tries to peel it off the boards, sending it ahead down those far boards. Now back, Holiday has it into the far corner, trying to knock it away. Whitelock as that comes back. Whitelock has it back behind his own goal. Sends it to Kresge in along the near boards. That into the neutral zone. Here comes Caribbean with it. Caribbean gains the zone, fires it into the near corner. That puck rims right back behind the Irish goal, trying to pick that up. Brewer had it for a moment. Now it comes back in along the near boards where Boot tries to pull that away. trying to knock it down. Dixon into the near corner, centering attempt. That puck pulled away by the Irish. Lipinski has it at his own blue line. He feeds it all the way ahead. That should be icing, and it will be. That'll head back into the Irish zone. 11 minutes, 21 seconds left to go here in the first. 4 shots on goal by the Irish, 1 by Pioneer, according to the big board. Faceoff will be in the Irish zone. That's going to be to Monty's left in the near faceoff circle. Monsma in to take the faceoff versus the captain, Hazard, on the other side. That puck into the near corner. And whistle, and they will re-drop that as Cesarini was trying to pull it out of the near corner. But they will drop Waldo versus Monsma in this near faceoff circle in the Irish zone. Dixon to his right. Back behind him is McDaniel. That puck lifted around by Cesarini. Lopinski trying to get it. Lopinski gets it through the neutral zone. Waldo picks it up, top of the far circle in the Pioneer zone. Good poke check by Pioneer. Monsma picks it up along the near boards over his own blue line through the neutral zone. Monsma lifts it deep as it banks off of the end boards. Taking it up by Cesarini. He puts it into the near corner. Trying to pull it out of the zone, the puck. Cross-ice pass coming down. Lipinski gains the zone. Lipinski top of the far circle over to Hazard. Hazard has that tipped away from him into the near corner. That lifted back in along the end boards. Pioneer trying to gather it off of those end boards now on the near circle. Trying to get to that is Lucas Schaefer over there. Liam Schaefer patrolling the front of the net. That to the blue line, but not out. Fired by Ryan Kosticki. That lifted in along the near boards. Picked up. Liam Schaefer gets it into the neutral zone. That rolls all the way down. That should be icing, and it will be, and head right back into the Pioneer zone. 10 minutes, 19 seconds left to go here in the first. Scoreless game so far. Faceoff will be in the Pioneer zone. That'll be in the near faceoff circle to Davis's right. In to take the faceoff is Patty. For the Irish on the other side, I believe that's Coattree for Pioneer. As that puck comes in along the far boards, picking it up, Chikachi overskated it. That lifted right back in by Patty, picked up by Roderick back behind his own goal. Roderick rifles it along the far boards. Chikachi has it. Cross-ice pass, trying to get it over to Fitzgerald. That puck tipped in the neutral zone, now brought back into the Irish zone, controlled by Gove. Gove, top of the near circle, now over his own blue line. Gove sends it in along the far boards for Patty. Patty with the shot. That one just goes wide in along the near boards. Lifted back into the neutral zone. Here comes Pioneer with it as Coattree has it on the near circle. Shot off the side of the net. That puck lifted in along the near boards. Trying to hold it in. Churchill slips into the neutral zone. Hazard sends it ahead. Here comes a breakaway shot, and they score. Is able to get back behind. Was that Lipinski? I think it was. So that was at 9:34 as it was a breakaway, able to feed it ahead. I believe it was Lipinski. We'll get final confirmation on that. But Davis did his best to be big in goal and just a better shot and able to get it through. Whistle, we're going to re-drop the puck at 9:34. As Coattree in to take the faceoff versus Waldo on the other side. Fitzgerald to Coattree's right, Chikachi to his left. They'll re-drop. 1-0 is the score for Father Gabriel Richard. Indeed, Lipinski the goal scorer. Hazard on the assist. So here comes Pioneer gathering the zone. Fitzgerald top of the near circle, moves it over to Coattree in the near corner. Coattree trying to avoid Hazard. That slips right back behind the goal. Chikachi sends it back to the near point. McDaniel moves it over to the far point for Yang. Yang with a shot. That's ticked away by Monty outside the far circle. Now lifted into the neutral zone. The puck on edge. Here comes Waldo for the Irish, top of the far circle, trying to feed Hazard. Hazard outside the far circle. He has the assist on the first goal. Has that tipped away in along the end boards, picked up by the Pioneer defense, sent ahead, and now lifted into the neutral zone. Just out of Fitzgerald's reach as he's trying to chase it. That into the near corner, icing waved off. Gove sends it ahead in along the near boards. That's Yannick Kosticki. As in along the near boards, Jancek Kosticki, into the near corner. Pulled all the way around. There's a whistle. 8 minutes, 25 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0 the score by the Irish. As into the box goes Gove on a penalty. Pioneer will have a power play coming. 8:25 left to go here in the first. 6 shots on goal for the Irish, 1 for Pioneer up on the big board. But Gove is going to sit for 2. As face-off in the far face-off circle, Kotri wins it. That move through the slot into the near corner. Tripping the call as the puck outside the near circle, held in by Caribbean. He feeds it outside the near circle. Battle for it. Hazard trying to pull it out. Hazard clears it all the way down the ice. Pioneer will have to regroup. 8:07 left to go here in the first. 1 minute, 40 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Picked up by Kotri as he goes over center ice. Kotri gains his own along the far boards. Kotri outside the far circle. Centering attempt, trying to get it ahead to Chikachi. That loose on the near circle. Kotri sends it along the far circle for Caribbean. Caribbean trying to get it into the slot. Held in at the blue line by Kotri. He takes a shot that just goes wide. Chikachi trying to get it in along the near boards. Kotri trying to tip that. Hazard trying to get it out. There's a shot out in front. Saved by Monty. Deflects outside the far circle. Picked up at the far point. That fed into the far corner for Pioneer. Trying to lift that. Whitelock sends it. Fitzgerald has it back behind the goal into the near corner. Fitzgerald trying to send it out in front, battling out in front. Whitelock, that pulled away by the Irish defense and cleared all the way down. 48 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Kotri picks it up, moves it ahead to Fitzgerald right at center ice. Fitzgerald drops pass over to Kotri. Kotri takes it top of the near circle through the slot. Shot saved by Monty. That puck outside the far circle, trying to pull it. That grabbed and sent ahead by Pat T. Bouncing puck through the slot, then rifled all the way down. 24 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Liam Schaefer picks it up back behind his goal and comes along the far boards. Tipped ahead, now trying to cause issues is Jancek Kosicki. Still battling right in front of the Pioneer bench. Picked up, here comes Pioneer with it over the blue line. Here comes Kotri with the shot. That one goes up into the netting. Excuse me, that was Jekyll with the shot. Forgive me. Line change for Pioneer. 6:27 left to go here in the first. The Irish have the lead 1-0. 2 seconds left to go in the Gove penalty. Pioneer has made these shots on goal a little more equal. 7 for the Irish, 6 for Pioneer. So getting some opportunities. Monsma in to take the face-off. Waldo on the other side of the face-off circle. That in along the near boards, lifted out. And here comes the Irish as Gove brings it in, top of the near circle. He goes into the near corner, centering attempt. That knocked away by the defense. Good play by Liam Schaefer. Brought right back behind the goal, trying to put it out, and a save by Davis. Elliot Davis with a fantastic save. 6:12 left to go here in the first period. 1-0 the lead by the Irish. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Monsman to take the face-off versus Hazard. Waldo in. Hazard's to his right. It's on the far face-off circle to Davis's left. That puck lifted. Pulled by Dixon out into the neutral zone. Dixon sends it along those far boards. Chipped the other way by the Irish, but picked up, sent in along the near boards. Here comes Gove with it over center. Feeds it over to Lipinski. Lipinski, top of the far circle, moves it over to Waldo. Great pad save by Davis. The puck in along the near boards. Slipped through the neutral zone. Now Dixon chasing it as Monty steers it into the far corner. Dixon trying to send it out in front. That deflected back to the blue line, but held in by Pioneer. Roderick has it outside the near circle into the near corner. Rims it all the way around the boards. Churchill keeps it in at the far point. Now McDaniel trying to send it back in along the end boards as Jekyll goes off for a line change. Roderick outside the near circle. That deflects all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. The defense trying to set up, avoiding Hazard. Monsma trying to bring it in. Knocked away by Grove as he hands it in along the near boards. Picked up by Hazard outside the near circle. Drop pass for Gove and a save by Davis. Oh, a flash of the glove by Davis on a fantastic shot by the Irish. Irish have the lead 1-0 on Pioneer. 5:14 left to go here in the first. It was a beautiful shot. Drop pass and Davis with a great glove save. Face off to Davis's right. in the near face-off circle. That puck into the near corner. McDaniel has it there. He sends it for a ride in along the far boards. Whitelock has it at his own blue line, coming down over center ice. Feeds Caribbean ahead. Caribbean dumps it back behind the goal, trying to battle in along the end boards. Kresge trying to pick it up back behind the Irish goal. That goes into the near corner. Lifted high up into the netting, as that was Ryan Kosicki trying to lift it out of the zone. Ended up hitting the nets. That'll keep the faceoff in the Irish zone. 4:54 left to go here in the first period. Irish up 1-0. That puck rimmed all the way around by Brewer. Stopped by Yang with the shot. Deflected out in front. Kresge catches it into the far corner. Centering attempt. That comes pulling it. Here comes the Irish ahead, as that's Jancek Kosicki who puts it back in along the end boards, grabbing at McDaniel. McDaniel comes down the far boards of his own zone, over his own blue line. McDaniel feeds it ahead. That was tipped outside the far circle. That collected by Ryan Kosicki. He banks it ahead on edge. McDaniel chips it the other direction, but pulled. Here comes the Irish, gaining the zone. Waldo in the high slot. Waldo dives for it. Yang did a good job to slow him up in the slot. That deflected in along the near boards. It's a shot by Gove from the near point. Comes all the way over to the far point. Brewer is able to keep it into the zone. The puck outside the near circle. Hazard sends it into the far corner. Waldo and McDaniel battle there, trying to pull it away. Now Whitelock tries to chip it back to McDaniel. McDaniel goes back behind his own goal. Lifts it in along the far boards. That deflects into the neutral zone. Heads back into the Irish zone. Grabbed by Gove. Puck wouldn't settle down for him. Now he grabs it back behind his own goal. 3 minutes, 44 seconds left to go here in the first. Irish have the 1-0 lead. Chikachi trying to peel that puck away. Now Roderick trying to knock it ahead to Chikachi, going the other direction. That pass intercepted by Gove, who comes into the slot. There's a shot by Lipinski, deflected into the near corner. Gove outside the far circle, still trying to peel it off the boards. Number of players comes back to the near point. That held in by Hazard, lifted back behind. Now Roderick sends it ahead to Chikachi. Chikachi, that through the neutral zone. Gove banks it off the near boards right back into the Pioneer zone. 3:08 left to go. As Gove picks it up. Gove over the blue line. Gove on the far circle. Backhanded shot, and he scores. Gove gets the second goal for the Irish, as he kept on intercepting it in the neutral zone and managed to backhanded shot from the far circle inner corner, and Gove makes it 2-0. We'll see who gets the assist, but that was at 3 minutes even. So the Irish up 2-0 on Pioneer. Face off right at center ice. Patty in to take the face off. Coattree on the other side. As that puck comes back to the Irish blue line, fired ahead. Churchill has it into the near corner. Hazard picks up his second assist of the evening, as that puck, controlled by Pioneer, comes over their own blue line, coming down the near side, tipped away, but Fitzgerald goes into the near corner, trying to peel that away from Ryan Kosicki. Battle for it in along the end line of the Irish zone. 7:35 left to go here in the first. Irish have the 2-0 lead. Churchill keeps it in, as there's a shot from the far circle. That just goes wide, picked up and sent by the Irish defense all the way down the ice. That should be icing, and it is. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here in the first. 2-0 to lead by Father Gabriel Richard. 11 shots on goal by the Irish, 6 by Pioneer. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Monsma in to take the face-off. That looks like Hazard on the other side. And in the near face-off circle, that is to Monty's left. That puck collected back behind, fired by Brewer in along the far boards to Lipinski. Lipinski makes a move at his own blue line, comes over center ice, and dumps the puck. And knuckleball, good job stopping that, as those are sometimes difficult for Davis. The puck comes in along the near boards. Pioneer gets it back into the neutral zone. Here comes Monsma. Monsma gains the zone, dumps it deep, chases it in along the near boards, trying to get it away from Brewer. The puck on the side of the net. Now into the near corner, Waldo sends it ahead. That tip back into the neutral zone, backhanded ahead, trying to fire it, Pioneer. Monsma trying to grab it, he comes in. Monsma, top of the near circle, trying to work his way between two defenders. Dixon trying to pull it off of the near boards now. That into the near corner, lifted, out in front, shot! Oh, Monty got a piece of it, and along the far boards, Jekyll has it. Jekyll puts it back for Monsma into the far corner. That chipped away, Hazard trying to lift it out of the zone. Jekyll holding it in, gets it over to Monsma. Monsma outside the far circle, Gove knocks that away, and here comes the Irish over their own blue line. They feed it ahead, Waldo gains the zone. Waldo trying to make a move in the slot, and knocked away by the Pioneer defense outside the near circle. Now McDaniel sends it down into the neutral zone. Gove picks it up right at center ice. Gove gains the zone. 1 minute left to go. Shot. Davis with the save. Liam Schaefer clears it in along the far boards. Picked up into the neutral zone. Pioneers sends it, but gathered by Ryan Kosicki. Sends it along the far boards. Chikachi backhands it, but that's stolen away by Grove, who has been fantastic. Grove with the rising shot. Getting a glove on it. That was Davis. That puck comes in along the near boards. Gathered by Hazard. He banks it off. That to the Pioneer blue line. As Jancic Kosicki ridden off the puck, Liam Schaefer sends it ahead, held in at the far point, 25 seconds left to go. That knocked down by Davis, the puck loose, now pulled back behind the Pioneer goal. In along the near boards, here comes Pioneer with it, Chikachi with it, in along the near boards. He's ridden into the boards, lifted away, and that fired right back into the neutral zone. Grabbed by Roderick, who spins, going the other direction, over center. Roderick makes it past Hazard. That lifted away, though, banked along the far boards. Now Hazard has it into the far corner, and that is the end of the first. So solid back and forth period, but the Irish get the better of it as they have the 2-0 lead on your Pioneer men's hockey team. It was Lipinski scoring at 9:34. That was from Hazard, and then at 3 minutes to go in the period, Gove got back behind the defense, set up by Hazard, and that is where we are at. We will step away for a moment, play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back. You're listening to Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Let's go over a few scores that happened yesterday. Lots and lots and lots of games going on. Well, just one moment. Let's play just a few more messages. I just want to check something out.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're going to do a little scoreboard report here as we are live from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, where the Irish have the 2-1 lead on your Pioneer men's hockey team. Let's take a look at scores. There were a whole bunch of games. 43 games happened yesterday. We don't have all of them reported, but it was Hudsonville beating East Kentwood 8-2. De La Salle doubled up Orchard Lake St. Mary's 4-2. It was West Ottawa beating Jensen 5-1. Mona Shores with a 3-goal win over Grand Rapids Christian 4-1. Scoreless game between Brighton and Heartland. A heavy defensive battle there. Says it went to overtime, obviously, and no one managed to get past a pair of fantastic goaltenders there. Canton beat Salem by a score of 4-1. It was Lumen Christie with a 1-goal win over Grosse Pointe South 5-4. Port Huron Northern beat Grosse Pointe North 4-1. It was Marysville with a 2-goal win over ETA Legion 5-3. Livonia Franklin shut out Livonia Churchill 2-0. It was Negaunee 3 and Kingsford 2. The Byron Center shut out the Bay Area Reps 4-0. Bishop Foley United beat Walled Lake Central Waterford United 7-5. FNV Griffin shut out the Tri-Valley Titans 6-0. It was the Kalamazoo Eagles eking out a 1-goal win over the Portage Muskies 6-5. Houghton shut out Plainsdale Jeffers 6-0. It was Midland Dow with a 10-0 win over Mount Pleasant. Marquette shut out Escanaba 8-0. It was Rochester United 3, Lance Chris Unified 1. Calumet doubled up the Hancock Bulldogs 4-2. It was Davison beating Tawas 7-0. M1 United shut out White Lake Lakeland 2-0. St. Clair Shores Unified beat Chippewa Valley 6-1. Saline shut out Temperance Bedford 3-0. That down at the Team Toledo Ice House. It was Cranbrook Kingswood beating Brother Rice 4-2. Midland with a 3-goal win over Grand Blanc 5-2. Oxford Avondale beat Walled Lake Western 7-3. It was Troy United with a 2-goal win over Romeo 3-1. West Bloomfield beat Farmington United 8-3. It was East Grand Rapids topping Lowell Caledonia 5-2. Rockford took it to Reefs Puffer, winning by a score of 6-1. It was Camp City with a 1-goal win over Mid Michigan 2-1. Rochester Stony Creek beat Macomb Dakota 3-2. It was Kennewa Hills shutting out Kalamazoo United 3-0, and Saginaw Heritage took it to Lapeer 9-1. That is your intermission scoreboard report. We will play just a couple other items from the MHSAA. Then we will be back with second period action. 2-0 is the lead for the Irish. You're listening to Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a
support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
To the near corner. Pulling around, top of the near circle, now slips back into the far corner. McDaniel has it there. McDaniel trying to chip it around. Still working on the video. Out into the far corner, held in at the far point by Kowalczyk. That popped all the way in along the near boards, held in at the near point of the Pioneer zone. Sent deep by Cesarini. The puck outside the near circle, slips back behind the Pioneer goal. Trying to put it out in front. Trying to get it was Jancic, Kosicki. That comes all the way back. Here comes Dixon gaining the zone. Dixon in the far corner. That pulled away by the Irish defense. The Irish over their own blue line coming in. Gove, top of the far circle. Shot that deflects into the far corner. Still battling the video as the puck stopped. Dixon trying to get it out of the zone. Held in by the Irish. That lifted back by Hazard into the far corner. McDaniel trying to get it. The puck back behind. Out in front. Battle for it. Slips back behind the goal. The puck picked up outside the near circle by Lipinski. That into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Trying to chip away at it. Yang trying to peel it out there, as well as Dixon. Battling Gove in that far, or Hazard. No, that is Gove in the far corner. Now Monsma trying to peel it out. The puck loose, still gathering, trying to grab it. The puck grabbed, shot from the top of the far circle in along the far boards. Knocked down, pulling it out, bringing it ahead is Lipinski. Lipinski trying to knock it down. Loose into the neutral zone as here comes the Irish back going towards the Pioneer zone. Waldo, cross-ice pass. That for Lipinski on the far side. Steered into the near corner. Picked up, hoping that the video will behave itself momentarily. Waldo brings it in as the camera tried to end up without batteries, as pulling it into the near corner. Lipinski has it knocked away by Jekyll, who gets it all the way back out into the neutral zone. Bouncing puck in along the near boards. Picked up. McDaniel sends it ahead. That's a whistle. Face-off in the near face-off circle, 11-10 left to go. Here in the second, the puck loose. Coming over, looks like the camera should be back coming up soon, I hope. As the puck to the far corner, Chikachi with a shot, that off the side of the net. Coming along into the near corner it goes. As huge thanks to my amazing wife for getting us back up and going. The puck lifted back to the blue line, held in by Pioneer, now loose in along the near boards. Back into the slot, into Roderick. Roderick in along the near boards, picked up. Coming the other direction with it, here comes Pioneer. Chikachi stares it over. There's Kotri with a shot that just goes wide. Coming along the far boards, Liam Schaefer trying to hold it in. Slips past, Roderick has it at his own blue line, sends it ahead. Picked up by Kotri. Kotri comes into the zone. That knocked all the way back. Fitzgerald now spinning with it. He goes over center ice. Fitzgerald pulls it in into the slot. Shot, that sticked away by Monty into the far corner. Grabbing it, coming along with. On that far side, Gove lifts it into neutral zone. Grabbing it, Churchill back, top of the far circle. He moves it over to Martin. Martin along the near boards. Over to Chikachi. Chikachi over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald. Chikachi backhanded shot. Save by Monty. As the puck in along the far boards, and we will have a face-off in the far face-off circle. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That is DeMonte's left. The puck back behind, lifted over. Whoop, and on our scoreboard, I need to move it to the second period as we are in second period, 9:36 left to go. The puck comes back, trying to get to it was Caribbean. Whitelock has it in along the far boards as it's back behind Monty, gathered in by the Irish, sending it ahead. Whitelock tries to fire it down. Now the puck collected by Hazard. Hazard comes over. Hazard knocks it in along the far boards, lifted back deep. Banks off the end boards, back behind the Pioneer goal. The puck slips in along the near boards. Whitelock has it. Whitelock over his own blue line. Cross-ice pass, getting it over to Kresge. Kresge sends it. Add-on goal. Monty steers it into the far corner. Lifted in along the far boards, picked up. There's Whitelock with a hammer shot. That just goes wide. The puck lifted back into the neutral zone. Here comes the Irish as grabbing it on the near side. That shot just goes wide. In along the far boards. Picked up by Pioneer over their own blue line, sent ahead. Here comes Caribbean back behind the defense. Caribbean puts it just underneath the bar at the top left-hand corner. Pioneer strikes to make it 2-1. The Irish at 8:40 in the second. As Caribbean got back behind the defense, very reminiscent of that goal. Coming up, that was the second goal of the Irish. We'll see if we get an assist on that. .840 left to go. Puck, bouncing puck. That knocked. Picking up Gove. Gove in along the far boards. Gove sends it ahead. I could not tell who they said on the assist. McDaniels back in along the end boards, trying to peel that away. Monsma into the far corner. Monsma trying to pull it back as the puck into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Dixon trying to pick it up, battle in the near corner. Now Dixon coming away with it over his own blue line. Dixon feeds it ahead. Chasing it is Lucas Schaefer back behind the goal. Lucas Schaefer trying to fire it out in front. That into the far corner. It is the Irish up 2-1 on Pioneer. 7:52 left to go here in the first period. Coming down, here comes the Irish gaining the Pioneer zone. Gove with it. He has a goal already today. Dixon gets his stick in the way. Excellent job by Dixon to pull it the other direction. And here comes Lucas Schaefer with a shot. That deflects. Thank you 1,000 times to my wife for getting the video back up and going. As the puck pulled in along the near boards. Chipped, bouncing puck in along the far boards of the neutral zone. Knocked back. Here comes Pioneer retreating back into their own zone. Back behind their own goal. Coming over to the near side is, I believe that's Fitzgerald. He sends it ahead. Picking it up. Here comes Chikachi. Moves it over. Fitzgerald with a shot. And Fitzgerald scores! He goes right underneath the bar. Now it's 2-2 here in the second. At 7:07, so under 2 minutes between those two goals. Fitzgerald with it. Face off at center ice. Coatry in to take the face off. 2-2 is our score. Here, 7:07 left to go in the second. 2 goals by the Irish in the first, 2 by Pioneer in the second. Chikachi on the assist as that puck loose into the slot, comes in along the near boards, trying to pull it away. That lifted. Shikachi has it. Bouncing puck through the slot, trying to knock it down. Still loose along the far boards. Now saved at the blue line. Put in deep for Ronderik in the near corner. Ronderik takes it back into the far corner. Picked up as Patty sends it back into neutral zone for the Irish. Pioneer regroups. That fired ahead by Shikachi. There's Coattree with a shot. That deflects outside the far circle and lifted on edge all the way back into the neutral zone. A skittering puck that heads towards Davis, picked up and along the near boards. Grabbing it, that fired ahead by Martin, bouncing puck, and that hits the AAGMHL tournament, Heisman Division tournament. I have it updated now. Six minutes, 6 seconds left to go. 2-2 is the score. The puck in along the near boards, trying to fire it ahead. As now lifted in along those far boards, holding it in Pioneer. That deflects. Churchill sends it into the far corner for Kresge. Kresge trying to pick it up. That lifted back in along the near boards. Here comes Father Gabriel Richard. The Irish bring it in. Lipinski outside the near circle. Lipinski into the near corner. That's saved from going out of the zone. There's a shot from the far circle. That deflects all the way back, skittering into the neutral zone. Collected. Trying to go the other direction with it is that Cesarini with it. Lifted back into the Pioneer zone. Lipinski into the near corner. Lipinski tries to get it back to the near point. Cesarini with the shot blocker. Save. Excellent job as the puck loose into the far corner. Trying to pull that away as Davis started off in net. I thought I saw 31 back there for Pioneer, but I believe it's still Davis. That puck back into the Pioneer zone, slips back behind their goal. Churchill has it in the far corner. Churchill lifts it all the way down, collected by the Irish at their own blue line. Lucas Schaefer trying to knock that away from Gove. Gove comes down the far boards. Gove spinning with it at the neutral zone. 2-2 is our score. 4:38 left to go here as that's tipped away. Now all the way back into the neutral zone, chasing it Brewer as the puck spins on edge. Now picked up Pioneer. Trying to battle in the neutral zone. Collision as Jacek Kosicki goes down. And that looks like Pioneer will have a penalty kill coming up as Lucas Schaefer goes into the box. Well, thank you everyone for putting up with the camera acting up, and big thanks to Christina Wiseman, my amazing wife, for first of all putting up with me. You guys know that's no easy task, and second of all, fixing the camera and doing everything she can. Oh, and thank you to you folks. You folks are wonderful and amazing for supporting the team. The puck into the near corner as Yang trying to get it in along the near boards. That lifted ahead. Here comes Chikachi. Chikachi comes in looking for a short-handed goal. Chikachi sends it on edge. That into the far corner. Chikachi still with it. He lifts it back. Pioneer has it. That rifled all the way deep and back behind the goal. That was Yang who fired it all the way down. Picking it up, here comes the Irish as there is 1 minute 36 seconds left in the Irish power play as Hazard comes ahead through center ice. Hazard weaving, he rims that all the way around into the near boards, picked up at the near point. That tip now bringing it in Waldo, top of the near circle. Waldo has that deflected into the near corner. Now trying to peel it out of there, Pioneer. Lifted, 1 minute 13 seconds left as the Irish have to regroup as Gove into neutral zone sends it in along the far boards. 1 minute 6 seconds left in the Pioneer penalty kill. Hazard outside the far circle. Hazard moves it into the far corner. That back picked up. Top of the far circle. Now Gove with a one-timer. Trying to get it out in front. The puck still loose. And they score as amazing job by Davis to stop that. And it squirted out to his left and he just couldn't recover in time And that was put in as it was sitting there off just to the right-hand side and wouldn't settle down. That makes it 3-2. Irish in the lead. They score with 50 seconds left to go in the power play. So at 3:13, and we'll get exactly who that was. I think it was Hazard, but let me get the actual officials. So that was Lipinski from Waldo as the puck into the far corner of the Irish zone. Obviously, Pioneer back to full strength after the Irish goal as they have it outside the far circle center. An attempt trying to get to Caribbean as Whitelock has it in the far corner. Whitelock tries to peel that back. Back to Roderick at the far point. Roderick's shot just goes wide and along the near boards. Tipping it back to the near point. McDaniel trying to fire it deep. That into the near corner. Trying to lift it out in front. McDaniel trying to grab that. Pulled away by the Irish, and they set up the attack. Here comes the Irish coming down the far side as Jacek Kosicki puts it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Grabbing it, McDaniel sends it along the near boards, intercepted by Hazard. He fires that ahead to Lipinski. Now here comes Waldo in the slot. That shot went high in along the end boards, rifled by McDaniel, but deflected back. McDaniel back behind his own goal, trying to avoid the pressure by the Irish. Kresge has it outside the far circle, back to the blue line. There's a shot from the blue line, knocked down out in front. Now through the slot, Pioneer chips it in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Heavy hit in along the near boards. There's a whistle as everyone's slow, Caribbean slow to get up. And there is an Irish player down. We really, really, really hope everyone is okay. As Caribbean goes into the box, the Irish will go back on the power play, but there is an Irish player down in along the near boards. Very, very quickly, the Father Gabriel Richard training staff came out, and you want to see everyone play their guts out, play very hard, but you really don't want to see anyone get hurt in this game, and everyone's gathered in around the near boards taking a look at this gentleman. We're going to step away and we'll play a little music as the experts try and work on the young gentleman and get him back, as again we don't want to see anyone injured, and all our support and everything goes to that young gentleman, and hopefully he'll be all right. You're listening to Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. We are very, 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 very happy to see the young gentleman being helped off, as that is Cesarini, and we hope he's going to be all right. His fellow teammates came over to help him off the ice. The trainer looking at him, but we are so happy that he's up, and hopefully he'll be all right. Pioneer is a 5-minute major up on the board, as the Irish have the 3-2 lead and hit in the neutral zone. And the Irish have an opportunity here to try and pour on some points and extend their lead. Pioneer is going to do everything they can to try and kill off this 5-minute major. But again, most importantly, we really, really, really hope that Sean Cesarini is all right. We hope he bounces back and gets healthy very, very soon. So boarding the call, 5-minute major. That puck comes in along the near boards. Coatry trying to peel it out in along the near boards of the neutral zone outside the near circle. That lifted all the way down the ice as Coatry able to clear it all the way down. Gove picks it up to reset. 1 minute, 38 seconds left to go in the major penalty to Pioneer, as Gove brings it over the blue line, trying to weave through the neutral zone. Gove fires it as that rims all the way around the boards outside the near circle, trying to pull it and keep it out. Here comes Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald trying to make a move for Pioneer. Top of the near circle. Shot. That's sticked away by Monty into the near corner. Waldo has it now. Hazard back there. Chikachi trying to make it difficult for them to leave the zone. The puck in along the near boards. Controlled. Here comes Father Gabriel Richard. Under a minute to play in the second. As 4 minutes, 3 seconds left to go in the power play. As Coattree gets it ahead. Here comes Chikachi with it. Chikachi sends it into the near corner of the Irish zone. There's a shot off the side of the net by Fitzgerald. Now here comes the Irish. 37 seconds left to go in the second. Bouncing puck. The Irish up 3-2 as Chikachi gets it back into the zone. Now Fitzgerald right at the Irish blue line. He sends it in along the near boards, trying to allow Coattree to fire across ice and get it all the way down. That actually hit Chikachi. Now comes in along the near boards. Backhanded by Coattree. Picked up by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald in along the far boards. 13 seconds left to go in the second, as the 5-minute major will go beyond into the third. The puck in along the far boards. Gove has that tipped away. 1 second left to go, and that is the end of the first period. At the end of one, it is Father Gabriel Richard 3, Pioneer 2. It started off at 8:40. It was a goal by Caribbean. I couldn't hear the assist, but that got Pioneer on the board. Then at 7:07, so just over a minute, 30 seconds later, it was Fitzgerald from Chikachi. Then at 3:13, it was a goal by Lipinski, and Waldo assist on that to put the Irish back in the lead. The Irish will have 3 minutes, 9 seconds left on a power play for the major power play starting the third. So Pioneer will start shorthanded for the third period. We're going to step away, play some music. Thank you to you for supporting this team wherever you are at, cheering. We appreciate it. Whichever team you cheer on, these athletes are playing their guts out, and we appreciate you supporting them. So thank you very much. We will return for the third. You're listening to Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. as they're resurfacing ice here. We're live at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube where it is the Irish 3 and Pioneer 2. Pioneer will be shorthanded for 3 minutes 9 seconds in the beginning of the third. That due to a 5-minute major boarding called on Pioneer. And again, we hope that Cesarini will be all right. We do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors. If you get the Pioneer program this year, you'll see all the wonderful, amazing sponsors who help with this team and all the costs associated with it. That is Align Chiropractic Center, Ann Arbor Door System, the Ann Arbor Equipment Sanitizing Company, the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Orthodontics, Dr. Pinzone, Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Body Specs, DW Skate Shop, Dunning Toyota and Subaru, The Flora Trader, Franklin Templeton, Highland, Kindling Creative, Levy, Metal Art Design and Build, Midwest Graphics and Awards, Deb, Odom, Stern, a Reinhardt Realtor, Filmation, Bronze Garage, Shaw, PPC Design, Stadium Hardware, Unique Printing and Remodeling, and Valentine Dental Care. Thank you so much to those who sponsor the team and support the team. If you could support those who support the team, we would greatly appreciate it. So the ice is resurfaced, waiting for the teams to come out of the locker rooms for this all-important third period. Again, the goal scoring so far has gone thusly. In the first, it was Lipinski from Hazard at 9:34 to put the Irish up. Then at 3 o'clock, 3 minutes left to go, 3 o'clock, 3 minutes left to go in the first, it was Gove from Hazard. That put them up 2-0 going into the second. In the second, Pioneer came out at 8:40 with Caribbean with a goal. Then Pioneer tied it up at 7:07 as Fitzgerald had a goal. That one was from Chikachi. Then the Irish came back that at 3:13 left to go in the second, as that was Lipinski with his second of the game from Waldo. And that is where we are at. Pioneer in their black jerseys. Up to the left, on the right, the Irish come in. Yeah, again, huge thanks to my amazing, wonderful, lovely wife, Christina Wiseman, who fixed the camera issue. For some reason, it was not charging, which is never a good thing. For some reason, these things all need batteries, so you got to have that. So she was able to fix that. We appreciate that. So Pioneer shorthanded for the next 3 minutes 9 seconds on a major penalty. The Irish with the 3-2 lead on your Pioneer hockey team. Pioneer going from left to right in this third period. 17 minutes up on the clock. That puck in along the near boards of the neutral zone, trying to chip it ahead. Pioneer. That gather back. Chikachi trying to grab it in along the near boards. That's sent ahead for Hazard. Hazard over center ice. Hazard gains the zone. Hazard outside the near circle. Hazard puts it right back behind the Pioneer goal in along the far boards. Trying to get to that. That lifted over to Hazard outside the near circle. Hazard trying to chip it back. That stopped, sent back to Hazard outside the near circle. Spinning with it. Liam Schaefer trying to knock that away as that's Lipinski into the far corner. Lipinski, the last goal scorer, as that's put right out in front. Cleared back to the blue line, but held in by Gove. Gove sends it over to the far side to Lipinski. Chipped away, trying to get it away from Waldo. Waldo into the far corner. Waldo outside the far circle. Gets it back to the far point. That held in, now chipped out. Here comes Chikachi with it, as that's tipped away from him. Bouncing puck right at center, trying to pull it away. Chikachi trying to pull it off of the near boards as he's in there battling versus Brewer. Brewer gets it back to Hazard. Hazard moves it back as that's over to Ryan Kosicki. 2 minutes left to go in the major penalty to Pioneer. That puck lifted back into the Pioneer zone. Pulled back over and battle for it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Trying to come away with it. Brewer into the far corner. Whitelock trying to knock that away. Ryan Kosicki knocks it back in along the end boards. Sending out in front. That chipped away. Loose puck held in by Ryan Kosicki at the blue line. His shot deflected out in front, trying to lift it, bouncing puck. Again, Ryan Kosicki is able to keep it from leaving the zone. McDaniel back behind his own goal, battling a pair of Irish players, trying to knock that away. 15-15 left to go here in the third. 1 minute, 21 seconds left to go in the major penalty to Pioneer. As that puck is pinned against the boards, back behind the Pioneer goal, as Kosicki trying to peel that out of there, as well as Holiday. That picked up. There's a shot from the blue line, sticked away, covering it up. Good job by Davis to dive on it. 58 seconds left to go here in this. 58 seconds left to go in the major penalty to Pioneer. 4:48 left to go in the third. The Irish up 3-2 on Pioneer. Face-off is to Davis's left in the far face-off circle. Pioneer desperately trying to kill off this penalty. Then they can look to get the equalizer. As that puck comes in along the M boards, Coattree sends it for a ride along the far boards. Whitelock trying to get it. That hauled over in along the near boards by the Irish. Put back to Gove at the blue line. Gove shot. Good glove save by Davis. 14:37 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Davis's right. The puck comes back to Gove. Gove at the near point, sends it in along the near boards, trying to get it over to Hazard. Hazard through the neutral zone, backhanded shot. The puck still loose in the slot. Shot. Davis trying to cover it up. And the puck comes in along the near boards. As that put back to Gove at the near point. Gove shot. That deflects. 24 seconds left to go in the major penalty. Pioneer able to clear it all the way down. As Monty stops it. That picked up back behind, quickly sent ahead through the neutral zone, trying to get it ahead quickly. Brewer feeds it over to Waldo. Waldo, top of the far circle. Waldo trying to cut in front of the crease. That sticked away, now comes over to the near side. 3 seconds left to go in the Pioneer major penalty. Waldo with it on the far circle as he's pushed to the ice. Pulled back, Pioneer back to full strength, but Gove has it on that far circle. Shot, that deflects. Coattree trying to knock it away, but Gove still has it in along the M boards. Chipped. Now it comes back out into the neutral zone. The Irish have to reset. Comes over to Brewer in along the near boards. Brewer sends it ahead. That picked up by Gove. Gove, top of the far near circle. Now Gove spins with it. Trying to feed it over to Lipinski. Backhanded shot. That knocked down by Monsma. Monsma sends a skittering puck all the way down. Knocked by Monty. Monty sends it. Gets it ahead to Hazard. Hazard over his own blue line. Check after that. That battle in along the near boards. Chipped, the puck loose, top of the near circle, backhanded back into the neutral zone. Gove tries to get the offense going for the Irish again, puts it into the far corner, softly picked up by Pioneer, trying to get ahead to Martin. Ben Martin lifts it ahead. Jekyll feeds it. Now here comes Pioneer over center ice. Coming in is Monsma. Monsma with a shot and a good save by Monty as Monsma ripped one from top of the near circle. 22 shots for the Irish, 14 for Pioneer here in the third. 12:46 left to go in the third period. The Irish up 3-2 on Pioneer. 2 goals for the Irish in the first, 2 for Pioneer in the second. Then the Irish with the right now what would be the game-winning goal in the second. Coming down the far boards, that put deep by Kowalczyk, picked up by Martin. Martin sends it in along the far board, stopped at the far point by Lipinski. Lipinski's shot, that couldn't get past the bodies over on the far circle. Battle for it, slips right back behind the Pioneer goal, coming in along the near boards. Stopped, sent deep by Ryan Kosicki into the far corner, trying to pull that away. As Ben Martin trying to get that now loose back to the near point, trying to hold that in. Ryan Kosicki, as Pioneer having issues getting it out of the zone. The Irish doing an excellent job keeping it in. Lipinski with the shot, that deflects back to the near point. Liam Schaefer in along the M boards, trying to get it over to Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer lifts the puck all the way down the ice. That'll be icing, but in high school, that still gives Pioneer a chance, and let me advance the period here, that still gives Pioneer a chance to change their line. So 11:52 left to go here in the third. It's Father Gabriel Richard 3, Pioneer 2. Face off in the near face-off circle. That is to Davis's right. Waldo in, taking the face-off for the Irish, dropping it back to Gove. Ooh, that deflected out in front, just went wide and along the far boards. Pioneer sending it ahead. Coattree trying to get to Fitzgerald. That intercepted by the Irish. Fired back in deep by Gove as that slips back behind Davis in the Pioneer goal. Sent ahead. That tipped, grabbed by the Irish. Now battle for it in along the near boards. Pioneer picks it up, trying to fire it in deep as Coattree puts it in along the near boards. Now grabbed by Gove as he's right back behind his own goal. Gove waiting for his team to get set up where he wants them. 11:18 left to go here in the third. The puck in along the near boards. Lifted ahead. Deflects into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. McDaniel ricochets it back into the neutral zone. Sent the other direction by Brewer. Now picked up by McDaniel in along the far boards of his own zone. He gets over the blue line, feeds Coattree. Coattree, top of the far circle. Good poke check by Brewer, and that sends the puck all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Icing will send it into the Irish end. 10 minutes, 53 seconds left to go. .53 left to go. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That is to Monty's right. Monsman to take the face-off. That fired by Martin back behind the goal, trying to pick it up. Monsman along the near boards. That lifted. Dixon trying to keep it in. Sent right back into the near corner. Monsman, Ryan Kosicki battling into the near corner. That lifted back to the near point. Deflected by Churchill trying to fire it in. That deflects. Jacek Kosicki into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. He goes on the far circle, sends it back to the far point. That lifted away. Here comes Monsma with it. Monsma, top of the far circle. Good poke check by Grove to stop a Pioneer chance for an attack. The puck in along the far boards. Monsma trying to peel that away. That comes back. Gove back behind his own goal. He sets up there. Dixon comes in, trying to make it difficult. Gove sends it in along the near boards. Roderick trying to peel it off the near boards outside the near circle. Still peeling as there's a bevy of players there trying to get it off of that near boards outside the near circle. That lifted. There's Pioneer with a shot just wide. Jekyll took a shot from the far point. Now Monsma's shot goes wide. Jekyll picks it up outside the far circle. Trying to rim it into the far corner. The puck to the blue line. Roderick keeps it in. That lifted into the far corner. Monsma trying to get it out in front. Jekyll picks it up, but that's poked all the way in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Liam Schaefer at his own blue line. Sends it ahead for Roderick. Roderick chases it along center ice. Gets it in along the far boards into the zone. Trying to get it away from Lipinski. That puck into the far corner. Controlled by the Irish back behind their own goal. Hazard has it in the far corner. Coattree trying to knock it away from him, but Hazard lifts it ahead. Here comes Gove. Gove into the Pioneer zone. Gove, his shot blocked. Great defensive play out in front. The puck into the near corner. That chipped by Fitzgerald over to Chikachi and along the far boards. Chikachi gets it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald outside the near circle. Centering attempt. That knocked down by Brewer. He sends it in along the far boards. Slips back into the neutral zone. Fired right back in by Pioneer. 8:47 left to go here in the third. 23 shots for Pioneer, 14 by the Irish. The score 3-2 by the Irish. Fitzgerald with the shot, saved by Monty. So he got it on a pad save. 8:37 left to go here in this third period. Irish 3, Pioneer 2. Hazard to take the face-off. That'll be in the near face-off circle. Coattree for Pioneer. Fitzgerald back behind him. Chikachi to his left. Hazard for the Irish on the other side. That puck rimmed around the boards into the far corner. Gove with it there. He heads back the other direction from the far side to the near side. Lifted ahead into the neutral zone, gathered by McDaniel. He sends it in along the far boards. That chipped away from Yang. Shot. That sticked away. Lifted. Here comes Pioneer with it. They send it in along the near boards to Coattree. Coattree on the near circle. Wrist shot. That popped up. A good save by Monty as the puck into the near corner. Chikachi trying to grab that. Trying to feed it away. Here comes Fitzgerald through the slot. His shot. And he scores! Fitzgerald with a score at 8:05. A wrister in the high slot, able to get it through. We are tied up at 3 apiece. At 8:05 was the score by Fitzgerald. We'll see who gets the assist. Tie game, the puck in along the near boards of the neutral zone. I swear they just said, I'm going to say Coatry had the assist. I swear that was Fitzgerald who shot it. I may be wrong. I swear they just said Coatry got the goal, but my eyes may deceive me. That puck slips back into the neutral zone as we are tied up at 3 apiece. 7:46 left to go here in the third. The puck in along the near boards. This is the first of a doubleheader for this Pioneer team. They are scheduled to play Lenawee at 8 o'clock. The puck slips right back behind the Pioneer goal. Martin sends it back into the far corner. That chipped in along the near boards of the Pioneer zone, held in by Gove, then knocked back out. Excellent play by Kresge in along the near boards. As there is a penalty called on the Irish. Gove goes into the box. He has played fantastic today. Pioneer won't mind having him off the ice for 2 minutes. As 24 shots by Pioneer, 17 by, or 24 shots by the Irish, 17 by Pioneer. Face-off in the near face-off circle as Fitzgerald gets it back. Coatry sends it top of the far circle. Shot, that deflects, and the Irish lift it all the way down the ice. 7:17 left to go here in the third. Tie game. 1 minute 50 seconds left in the Pioneer power play as Coatry sends it along the far boards for Chikachi. Chikachi over his own blue line. Chikachi now over center ice into the zone. Chikachi outside the near circle. Tries to dump it. That deflects into the near corner. Sending it back, pulling it. There's Fitzgerald with a shot and a glove save by Monty. Good job by Monty to get that glove on it. 1 minute 24 seconds left to go. In the Pioneer power play, Fitzgerald in to take the face-off. That's in the near face-off circle. Looks like Waldo on the other side. That controlled by the Irish and lifted all the way down the ice by Waldo. Stopped by Davis, picked up by Coatry, back behind his own goal. 6:36 left to go here in the third. Tie game. The puck in along the far boards. Now here comes Chikachi with it. Back to Jekyll. Shot that just goes wide into the near corner. Fitzgerald trying to lift it back. That puck into the neutral zone. Now it's a foot race trying to get to it. Jekyll sends it ahead. Now Chikachi has it. Excellent job by Jekyll to get back to get that. Coatry brings it in. Coatry working his way around. Shoots. Oh, that just off the side of the goal. Trying to put it out in front for Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald scores! Oh, Coatry came in, took a shot, deflected, and just as he went past, he pulled that back for Fitzgerald. And Pioneer takes the 4-3 lead here in the third at 6:09. Unless my eyes deceive me, I think that should be Fitzgerald from Coatry, unless it somehow slipped in without without Fitzgerald hitting it. But we'll see, as now they will have Jacek Kosicki in the face-off circle, that in along the far boards. Fitzgerald credited with the goal. And Coatry gets the assist, so that puts Pioneer up 4-3 as the puck in along the far boards. 5 minutes, 51 seconds left to go. It is always a battle between these two teams. As the puck in along the far boards, collected, fired back. Here comes Gove with it. Gove, top of the near circle. Now Gove into the near corner. Roderick goes down to block the shot. Gove goes back behind the Pioneer goal into the far corner. Gove jumps it back into the far corner, picking up Roderick. Roderick has that tipped away, bouncing puck right through the slot. Grabbed by Gove outside the near circle. Gove trying to center it out in front. Shot, that deflects all the way back into the Irish zone. That will be icing and come back into the Pioneer zone. Pioneer with the 4-0 lead on the Irish. The Irish ever dangerous though. Last time Pioneer tied it up, the Irish came back and re-secured the lead. Now Pioneer with the 4-3 lead. Face-off is to the right of Davis in the near face-off circle. Monsma taking that face-off and shot right off the face-off. Save by Davis. We'll drop it again. Monsma trying to win that. That pulled back by Waldo. Now in along the near boards, controlled by Hazard. Hazard puts it back behind the Pioneer goal. Lipinski trying to get it out in front. That puck in along the far boards. There is a whistle. And the Pioneer penalty box opens up. Monsma looks like he's going in, and the Irish will have a power play. 5 minutes even left to go here in the third. The Irish looking for the equalizer. Pioneer trying to hold on. They'd love to get one extra insurance goal. But first thing they'll have to do is kill off a power play by the Irish. It's 2 minutes up on the clock. Monsma in the box. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That's to Davis's left. The puck in along the far boards. Fired and cleared all the way down the ice by Pioneer into the near corner. Monty knocks it back to Gove, as that was Chikachi who cleared it all the way back. Interference, the call on Monsma. Puck top of the far circle. Now moved over to Hazard at the blue line. Back. Picking up Gove on the high slot. Now there's a shot from the far circle. Saved by Davis. Covered up. 4:31 left to go here in the third. 1 minute, 31 seconds left to go in the Irish power play. Puck will be, face-off will be in the far face-off circle. Battle between two high-quality teams here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. As that's to Davis's left, that face-off circle. Now they're going to switch off. Whitelock is going to come to the right. As that puck in along the far boards, trying to control it. Coattree sends it for a ride all the way down. That'll burn a few more seconds off of the power play. 1 minute, 20 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Irish. Chikachi back there trying to make it difficult for the Irish to get out of the zone, but here they come over center ice. Gove with it. Gove outside the near circle. Both captains, Gove and Hazard, have been very good for the Irish. Bouncing puck into the far corner. Lipinski with it there. Lipinski trying to avoid pressure by Liam Schaefer. Gets it back to Hazard at the far point. Moving it over top of the near circle for Gove. He takes a shot and a save by Davis. 51 seconds left to go in the Irish power play. 3 minutes, 51 seconds to go in the third. 4-3 the lead by Pioneer. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is to the right of Davis. And there's a timeout called. Well, let's play a little push on. Get you fired up. Get the team fired up. Get everybody fired up. You're watching Pioneer men's hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. As they're counting down on the minute time out, 51 seconds left to go in the penalty to Pioneer. So the Irish with the skater advantage for just under a minute, 51 ticks of the clock. Pioneer going from left to right. Monty goes back to his cage to the right. Davis to the left. Both goaltenders have been very solid. Face-off is in the Pioneer zone to the right of Davis on that near face-off circle. Coattree is to the right. Trying to see, I think that's Caribbean in taking the face-off. That puck comes in along the near boards, back to Gove. Gove at the near point. Gove trying to put it to Hazard outside the near circle, back to Gove at the near point. Gove moves it top of the far circle, that over to Hazard into the near corner. Pioneer trying to knock that free. 3 minutes, 37 seconds left to go in the third. Gove moves it over to the blue line, gets it back, high slot, moves it over to Hazard on the near circle. That on the far circle, saved by Davis. Chikachi pinned against the far corner, that pulled back by the Irish, back to the blue line for Gove. Gove comes high slot, now makes his way over, puts it top of the far circle for the Irish, then gets it back. Gove works his way into the slot, shot, saved by Davis. That puck into the far corner, chip. Chikachi trying to pull it outside of the far circle. He lifts it, that back to the blue line. There is a whistle and a Pioneer penalty. 3:09, 5 seconds left to go. Liam Schaefer can't believe it, but he's going into the box. So 5 seconds of a 5-on-3. Then the Irish will stay on the power play. So really short player disadvantage for Pioneer on the penalty kill. But then the Irish will have a full 2-minute power play. So Pioneer first just needs to kill off this first 5 seconds. As that Gove has it right at the blue line. First penalty expires. It's now a traditional 5-on-4 power play. That comes back to Gove at the blue line. Gove comes in along the near boards. Now slips back to the near point. Gove tried to send it on the far circle. That shot out in front deflects and lifted all the way down. 1 minute, 37 seconds left on this Irish power play. 2 minutes, 38 seconds left to go here in the third. The puck in along, brought by Hazard. Hazard works his way through the neutral zone, gains the Pioneer zone, top of the far circle. Hazard now goes back behind the goal, fires it along the blue line, trying to get it to Waldo. Waldo into the far corner. Coatry trying to peel it off of those end boards, trying to chip it away, battle for it back behind the Pioneer goal. Now that lifted back through the neutral zone into the Irish zone. 1 minute, 6 seconds left to go here in the Irish power play. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the third. Pioneer with the 4-3 lead. It's their first lead of the game as the Irish scored first in the first period. Gove with a nifty move on that far circle. He drops it back into the far corner. Whitelock trying to watch that. The puck deflects in along the near board. Sent back. Wide angle shot. Out in front. They score. Davis can't believe it, but they took it from the near boards, fired it out in front. That deflected in, and we have a tie game 4-4. That was 1 minute, 47 seconds to go. The officials talking things over with the scorer's bench. There's an Irish player in the box, so we'll see if they picked up a penalty for celebration on that. I'm also waiting to hear exactly who the goal scorer was. It might have been Lipinski. He was out in front. If he tipped that, that is a power play for him. But into the box, Lipinski goes, so probably a good bet that he was the goal scorer. And that puck comes back, so Pioneer on the power play for what would remain of regulation, as into the far corner, that pulled away. Lipinski has a hat trick. Brewer and Gove on the assists, but Lipinski with the hat trick ties up the game. Pioneer brings it in, Caribbean into the near corner. Pioneer on a power play for the remaining 1 minute, 18 seconds, of course, unless something changes. Coatry with the shot that deflected out in front. Monty puts it in along the far boards. Caribbean gets it back to Coatry at the far point. Coatry chips ahead to Caribbean. Caribbean avoiding a diving Waldo. The puck in along into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to reset. Here comes Chikachi. Chikachi with the shot saved by Monty. 55.9 seconds left to go. Tie game 4-4. So it was excessive celebration is what put Lipinski into the box as he made a huge hat trick, and now we have a timeout. So 53 seconds left to go. Pioneer hoping to get the go-ahead goal. Father Gabriel Shard loved to do the same thing. We will play a little push on. Be right back. Well, it's never, ever boring when these two teams get together. 4-4 as with 1 minute 47 seconds left, Lipinski gets the hat trick and the equalizer to tie up the game. Pioneer has the man advantage for 1 minute 9 seconds left to go. They're hoping to win it in regulation. They got another game to play at 8 p.m. tonight over at Chelsea versus Lenawee. Caribbean in for this huge face-off. That in the near face-off circle. DeMonte's right. Coattree has it, moves it over top of the far circle. That shot out in front. Saved by Monty. .3 seconds left to go. Face-off now in the far face-off circle. That DeMonte's right. Coattree in to take the face-off. Hazard on the other side. That drop back whistle though. Pioneer had won it, but they'll re-drop it as face-off violation. Coattree still in to take the face-off. They'll get another puck. 49.7 seconds left to go. That brought, this time controlled by the Irish. They send it along the boards and fire it all the way down the ice. 43 seconds left to go in regulation. Pioneer, Chikachi has it. Chikachi coming over the blue line, and before they can even think about the game versus Lenawee, they would love, really need, and want to get a win here versus a really good Irish team. Fitzgerald on the far circle. That Whitelock has it into the far corner. Whitelock gets it back to the far point to Caribbean. Caribbean moves it over. Coattree with the one-timer. That just goes wide. Caribbean has it at the far point. Again, moving it this time to Chikachi. That back to Coattree. Coattree high slot over to Chikachi on the near circle. Chikachi moves it over to Fitzgerald underneath. Fitzgerald spinning with it. Fitzgerald taking a shot out in front. Battle. Whitelock was right in front of the crease, but a good save by Monty. 2.7 seconds left, and it looks like overtime is all but guaranteed, as Pioneer would have to get a shot right off the face-off to try and win this in regulation. Caribbean in for this huge face-off, going to try and win it back to Coattree. That puck lifted, and that is the end of regulation. Well, why would it take just 3 periods for these two great teams to settle this game? We're going to go to overtime. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA. They'll get 5 minutes up on the clock, and we will have some sudden death overtime. 14 seconds left to go in the Pioneer advantage. That carries over into the overtime period. And then Pioneer playing a little extra hockey here. Then they have 3 periods to go at 8 o'clock over in Chelsea versus Lenawee. Let us play a few messages from the MHSAA. You're watching Pioneer Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Well, 6 minutes up on the clock. How about a little bit of overtime hockey? Pioneers now going from right to left, as Pioneer just wants to fit as much hockey as they can into this Saturday evening. Chikachi sends it ahead, trying to pull it in. Fitzgerald outside the near circle. Fitzgerald trying to drop it back to Chikachi. That pulled away outside the near circle. Coming away with it, Coattree. That rifle by Gove all the way around the far boards, trying to pull it back. Irish back to full strength. Roderick puts it right back behind the Irish goal. Having it, Gove there. Gove has been instrumental for the Irish today. That's sent along the near boards of the neutral zone. Picked up, knocked the other direction. Fitzgerald over to Coattree. Coattree along the far boards of the neutral zone. Sends ahead. That intercepted by Waldo. Waldo gains the Pioneer zone in along the far boards. He goes down hard in against the boards. And that pulled ahead by Chikachi. Chikachi feeding it. Here comes a breakaway for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald takes the shot, and a save by Monty as Fitzgerald came to the near side, faded to the came to the far side, faded to the near side, tried to get that out, but a pad save by Monty. That lifted all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Roderick banks it off the far boards, intercepted by the Irish, tipped by Coattree. Now picked up. The Irish gain the zone as that's Gove with it. Gove on the far circle. Gove goes underneath the Pioneer goal, firing it out in front. That just goes wide. Picked up outside the near circle. Gove spinning with it. He takes a shot. That deflected off of its skate. Picked up out in front. A battle for it. That comes all the way back into the neutral zone. 4:33 left to go here in the overtime period. Brewer has it back behind his own goal. Brewer comes to the far side. Now fires it into the neutral zone. That chipped ahead by Kowalczyk into the end boards of the Pioneer zone. Roderick lifts it along. Whitelock trying to fire it ahead. Getting it to Caribbean. Caribbean gains the zone. Now that poked away. Whitelock trying to fire it in deep. That puck controlled by the Irish. They send it along the near boards of the neutral zone. That lifted all the way back. Icing called. That'll head back into the Irish zone. 4 minutes, 1 second left to go here in the overtime period. Face-off will be in the Irish zone. While these two teams always play each other very, very tough. Two storied and proud franchises. It's always a good time when they battle. That puck bounced into the neutral zone, chasing it Yang. Yang chips it, trying to get it going the other way. Here comes Kresge. Kresge puts it on edge into the Irish zone. That lifted and spinning puck. Here comes, picking it up, comes Waldo. Waldo on the near circle, firing out in front. That deflects in along the far boards. Picking it up, Waldo still with it outside the far circle. He rifles it. That slips into the near corner. Picked up, where's Whitelock, backhands it ahead. Lifted, delayed offsides, and pulled all the way down. Caribbean chasing it. And picked up back behind the Irish zone. Here comes the Irish, setting it up. Through the neutral zone. That chipped away by Chikachi. Chikachi on the near circle. Chikachi trying to feed it out in front. Backhanded shot. And a save by Monty. Chikachi feeding it top of the far circle. That pulled away by the Irish. Here come the Irish through the neutral zone. Gove with it. Gove comes in. He takes a shot. That goes just wide. Picked up by Liam Schaefer back behind his own goal. Liam Schaefer starts the rush. Here comes Fitzgerald through the neutral zone. Fitzgerald with 3 Irish in front of him puts it into the far corner. Trying to get it around Brewer. Fitzgerald into the far corner. That lifted, headed in the other direction is Kowalczyk. Centering attempt poked away. Good play by the Irish defense. Here they come. They feed it ahead. That tipped by Kowalczyk comes into the far corner, but tipped it on the wrong side of center. That will be icing and come back into the Irish zone. The Irish have the 31-23 shot lead. It's 4-4 on the scoreboard. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left to go. In overtime, Coattree in to take the face-off. Chikachi back behind him. Churchill playing the near point. Trying to catch who's on the far point. I think that's Yang over there. Liam Schaefer. That puck in along the near boards. Trying to grab it. Chikachi trying to fire it out in front. Lifted in along the near boards. Trying to pull it. Now Lipinski, who has the hat trick, lifts that. Chikachi holding it in. That out of the zone. Pioneer has to reset. That over to Churchill. Churchill sends it over back to Liam Schaefer. Liam Schaefer has it into the far corner. Liam Schaefer goes back behind his own goal. 2 minutes, 9 seconds left to go. That lifted along the far boards of the neutral zone. Brought in. Here comes Brewer. Brewer on the far circle. Centering attempt. That knocked away by Liam Schaefer. Controlled by Pioneer. Coming down. Chikachi with it. In along the near boards. Chikachi on the near circle. Drop pass. Into the slot. Coattree with the shot. Coattree still with it. Centering. And they put it in. Fitzgerald from Coattree. That combination was the last two. That, by the way, should be at least a hat trick for Fitzgerald. I think he might have had 4 goals if my tally is right. And the last 3 have been Fitzgerald from Coattree, according to my tabulation, which is certainly not official. But Pioneer able to win over a amazing, talented Father Gabriel Richard team. It is always a pleasure to get to watch these two teams play. Well, we are going to pack up really quickly, try and get ourselves over to the Arctic Coliseum and do what we can to bring you the Pioneer versus Lenawee game. Thank you very much. Pioneer wins it 5-4. Thank you for watching Pioneer Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.